Cops come out of nowhere and tackle my friend. I'm like, what in the fuck? I have all the drugs on me, so I just run away. I'm Zach Holmes, and this is a story on how I fell in love with a burrito on acid. And Jackass Forever is on Paramount Plus right now. Go stream it. So I was at this party, and I'm the only one that's in costume, and I'm dressed as a generic video game plumber. A random guy comes up to me and my friends and says he has some LSD and some weed for sale. My friends and I decided that this could be a good business opportunity since we're going to be going to this concert tomorrow, and we could sell some of the weed in line. We ended up buying it. Cut to the next day. We're selling some joints in line going to this concert. It's sort of like a jam band style thing. And this random guy comes up to us and goes,
"Can I have one of your finest marijuana cigarettes or something like that?"
And we're like, what the fuck? Why did he say it like that? Cops come out of nowhere and tackle my friend. I'm like, what in the fuck? I have all the drugs on me, so I just run away. And I had the acid, and the first thing I thought was, fuck, dude, I don't want to get caught with acid. I'm gonna go to jail forever. So I ate all the acid as I was running away. I just kept running. I didn't know what else to fucking do. I'm trying to call my friends, still can't get a hold of anyone, and then I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know how to use my phone anymore. The acid started kicking in. There was a street vendor selling burritos, and it was really lit up. The lights were beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. All the colors were popping, and I was seeing all these weird textures when I was walking around too, the textures of the sidewalk were moving as I was walking. And I saw this burrito. They had this big ass burrito for sale, and I wasn't hungry, but it looked beautiful to me. And I just wanted one so bad, just to hold on to, not even to eat. And I went up there and I was like, I want one of your burritos really bad. Yeah, that'll be $10 or whatever. And I just pulled out a wad of money and gave it to them. I clearly gave them too much money, and they're trying to give me change back. And
here's your change.
And I'm like, this burrito's all the change that I need. And I take the burrito, and I'm just walking around with it. I felt like the burrito was just its own separate entity, it was its own person. And then out of nowhere, my friend in the tie-dye hoodie that was selling the weed comes out of nowhere and was like, Zach, I finally found you. Where have you been? I was like, I thought you got arrested. And he was like, no, they took my weed, and I'm fine now. I'm fine. But we can't go in the concert. Do you still have the weed? And do you still have the acid? Good news and bad news. The good news is I still have the weed. Other good news is I still have the acid. Bad news is the acid's inside of me. What the fuck? They were so pissed at me. Both my friends were so mad. But they're like, yeah, we have to get into this concert. So we start going back towards the venue, and we see this big tour bus. And they're like, yeah, this is one of the bands that's playing. I'm going to try and talk to them. And my friend goes in there and talks to them, and he's like, hey, they said we can go on the bus. And we're trying to convince them to let us into the show, even though we've been blacklisted. They were thinking, yeah, we can probably let you guys in. For some reason, I'm still carrying around this burrito, and I'm getting the burrito all over their fucking tour bus because I'm not eating it, and I'm just letting it go everywhere, and they're getting pissed. And I'm just sort of pushing it around, trying to clean it up. And I'm like, hey, I have to use the bathroom. So I go into the little bathroom in the tour bus, and I just start looking in the mirror, which is not really the best thing to do when you're on a bunch of acid. And I just started seeing a bunch of versions of myself. I don't know if that's me, or if this is me, or if I'm me, or if I'm even real, or if anything is real. I just screamed. The guy in the band was hitting this bong. It was one of his favorite bongs, and when I screamed, it scared him. And he dropped the bong and it broke. And at that point, we got kicked off the bus, and my friends are even more mad at me. So after this point, we're not really sure what to fucking do. So we decide, what if we all just change our hoodies, we go to the roadies and just try to convince them to let us in. So I tell the roadie everything that had happened to me, throughout the entire day. He's like,
honestly, man, you've been through a lot. I'm gonna let you guys in.
And they let us in. I feel like I could see all the vibrations, from coming out of the speakers, all the different colors, everything is popping and is swirling together, and it was just one of the best feelings that I could have. Eventually, this awesome experience had to come to an end, and our only ride home is in a pickup truck. But for some reason, because I was still tripping balls, I thought, fuck, I should ride in the back. I get in the back of the bed of the truck, and I'm just laying there, and they're driving, and I'm just feel the breeze on my skin, and then I just hear thunder, and then it starts raining, and I was like, this is amazing. I'm one with Earth right now. And then, dude, I think the truck's filling up. And like, I started like freaking the fuck out because there's like lightning and stuff. And like, I feel like I'm drowning. And then they're like, Zach, get in the fucking truck. You don't need to be in the bed. So I made the sensible decision to get back in the fucking truck like a normal person. Me and that burrito had the night of our lives. I would say I hope that burrito's okay, but there's no way that burrito is still around.
Tales from the